it just exploded. It just exploded to the point where I had psychiatrists that had to come to the house and try to talk things out with me. And it was just a very difficult time. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
When the rain falls, baby, it's amazing. Let this pain sink in, oh, I embrace it. Oh, I done lost myself trying to change it. We had a moment, it's what you make it.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another video. And Happy New Year's! Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year. I pray that this year brings you nothing but blessings in abundance. May all those blessings just rain on you this year in 2022. Amen. Receive it right now. Receive it. Amen. So, new year, new segment on my channel that I'm going to call Tea Time with Tea. Do you like it? Is it cute? It's because, you know, my name starts with a T. I'm drinking tea, and I also will be spilling the tea. Yes, I will. But I'm not going to do like juicy tea or like gossip or whatever. I want this segment to be an open conversation. Like, I want it to be us just having a heart-to-heart, being vulnerable, being honest, yes? So I'm going to be sharing my story, and I would love it if you shared yours too in the comments and just tell me what you think about this whole thing. So it's very fitting. The thing is, I wanted to do this video since it's the New Year's, and this is a time where people just kind of look at the last year and are expecting more for the year to come. So you're kind of just assessing, you know? So that's what I want to do today with you. I want to assess about my life, you know? And what gave me even more courage to do this video was two wonderful messages that I got from childhood friends of mine. They were so sweet, but they were basically telling me how it was good to see that I was growing in my relationship with God, and they were also doing the same. And one thing that one of them told me that really stuck with me was, she said, I know that wasn't the subject of your previous video, but you mentioned that you went through a hard time, and I would have never imagined that. So I'm going to talk about those hard times with you today. I hope you enjoy the video, so stay tuned. So where do we start? Let me start by saying 2021 was the best year of my life. In the weirdest way. Not because I had the most fun, not because this and this happened. I mean, a few things happened, positive things, but it wasn't as eventful as you might think it was. The word that I would use to describe this year is healing. That is just what happened throughout the whole year, and that's why it was the best year. 2021 brought me so much peace, and I needed it, because 2020 was a disaster. 2020 was trash, gaga, doo-doo. It was so bad. Why was it so bad? Depression. I feel like a lot of us suffer from depression, and it just peaked that year. It just peaked. I was depressed, I was suicidal, all of it just happened. And of course it was because the whole world was in lockdown. So I had no distractions anymore. I had to face myself. I had to look in the mirror and look at my emotions, and it was just a mess. It was a mess. I didn't recognize myself. I didn't even like myself. Horrible year. But I needed it. I needed that to happen, because there was so much for me to fix. I can't jump into something while I'm still broken. So I needed to expose the brokenness that was in me and heal from it. And that was 2021, healing year. So why was I so depressed? So there's a lot of things that go into it. I was thinking about this morning while I was taking a shower. When did my depression start? And I can honestly say that I feel like it started when I was maybe 14. That is quite young. And the reason why I say that is not because by then already, like, it wasn't as severe as it was in 2020. Definitely not. But I remember being young and being 14 or 15 and telling myself, I can't wait for life to get better. I can't, like, I was just ready for life to get better. And did life get better? I can't say no, but I can say yes. I just feel like life went on. I felt like life went on, and my depression just got worse and worse and worse. You know, there was a lot of things happening. I had like close relationships that like weren't working out. I went through my first breakup. I started studying something that I didn't end up continuing, so I stopped school and just wasn't motivated. It was just like all of that happened throughout the years. So from 14 to 22, it was just, depression was getting just more severe and severe and severe until it exploded. So close relationships weren't working out, and I remember being 18 and not even wanting to be 18. I remember like it was, my birthday was approaching, and I was telling my mom and my aunts like, oh, I don't want to be 18, like responsibilities and all of that. Even though nothing changed, literally nothing changed. It was just, I'm 18 now, I'm considered an adult, but life was still kind of the same. But I remember just not wanting it to happen because I felt that I wasn't ready. So that's a point that I want to talk about. And then I hit my 20s, and I just felt like I was behind in life. I felt so stuck. I felt like life was just going past me. Like I wasn't where I wanted to be. I wasn't where I was supposed to be. And I just felt the pressures of being in your 20s, right? And I feel like that pressure is because there's so much that's supposed to happen when you're 20, like in your 20s. There's so much decisions that you have to take, decisions that will impact your life for almost ever, like big decisions. And you're kind of realizing that you're not a child anymore, and that no one is making these decisions for you. You are making them for yourself. And that's a scary thing, because you want to make the right decision. Of course, you want good things for yourself, but it's so much pressure. And also, you're supposed to be having the time of your life. So on one hand, you have to be thinking about graduating, if you're in school, moving out, career path, maybe finding a partner, maybe marriage, kids, all of that. You're thinking about that. You're realizing that you're now in this new era, but at the same time, you're like, oh, but this is supposed to be the funnest time of my life. I'm supposed to be going out, and I just didn't know how to navigate those feelings. I didn't know how to navigate that pressure. I felt like I wasn't ready. I just felt like I wasn't ready for life. And that's why I felt so behind. Because, of course, I would compare myself. I would compare myself to any and everyone. Social media definitely didn't help. And it just made me feel like I wasn't enough. I felt like I wasn't enough. And so that played a huge part on my depression. And I know most people know this. Comparing yourself does not help. And especially the way I was doing it. I was never comparing myself to someone. Okay, so when I was comparing myself to these people, it could literally be whoever. I would never win. I was never the winner in that situation. I was always the one that didn't have this. Oh, maybe I have this, but look, she has this and this and this. Or look, maybe I'm here, but this person has that and that and that. So it just took so much away from me. Comparing myself just took so much away from me. And for no reason. Actually, for no reason, because my path is not supposed to look like anybody else's. But that was a very hard thing for me to understand. You know, you feel behind and you're just wanting to catch up, and then you're trying to figure out how to catch up. So you look at other people and what are they doing? Okay, let me do this. Oh, but I don't have this and this to do. It's just a whole mess. It really destroyed me and contributed a lot to my depression. So when I tried to compare myself to other people, I would also try to mimic them, but that's not helpful in any way. It just made things worse because I was now abandoning who I truly was to imitate something that I'm not, because I thought that was the way to go. I thought that was how life was supposed to look like. And I can be completely honest and say, like, there's things that most people do that I just don't enjoy. One of them being clubbing. I just don't enjoy it. I've been out a couple of times, but I remember the first time I went out, I was so disappointed. But yet I was like, oh, but this is what we're doing. This is what young people do. This is what we do, you know, to have fun and to feel like on track in life in a way. In a weird way. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I just felt like that was the norm and I wasn't following the norm. So I tried to follow it. I didn't like it. If I'm honest with myself today, I can tell you I didn't like it. But I pretended. I pretended that I did, and that's what I would basically do for a lot. But in adopting this new identity, I was truly abandoning who I truly am, my real identity. One of the things is I'm the oldest sibling of all of my siblings, and I felt like I abandoned that role of big sister, which is the saddest thing. It still hurts me today, but I genuinely felt like I was abandoning the role of a big sister just to find out that all of the other stuff isn't worth it. So now that guilt of feeling like I abandoned my role as a big sister was another factor that made me depressed. And in my depression now, I was not even able to be a big sister because I was mentally, I wasn't able to do it. So it was just so destructive. So my first heartbreak, it happened when I was 20, and it was quite the experience, and I learned a lot from it. I was depressed during all of those years, and being in a relationship, in that specific relationship, brought me joy, and that was now what I was depending on. So when that was ripped away from me, it shattered me. It shattered me so much. It was so hard to get over, but life had to go on. And now that I think about it, I don't even know how I got over it. It took a while. I definitely isolated a lot, because that's what I do when I'm depressed. I isolate like no other. I would just cut everyone off and just stay in my room. It took a while, but I just learned in that I can't depend on anything else to make me happy. I can't depend on, especially not a man, especially not any other human. The only thing I can depend on is on God. So all of those things happened. It's not all of it, but that's all I'm going to share today. And then 2020, when everything exploded. So all of those little things that just accumulated and exploded in 2020. That's when I wasn't even leaving my room. I don't think, like, if you were living in that house with me at the time, you could go weeks without seeing me. Not because I wasn't in the house, just because I wasn't getting out of my room. I would barely get out of bed. I would barely eat. It was such a hard time, and I was just fed up with life. I was so fed up of just, I had this feeling that I was just surviving life and not living it. I just felt like that's what I was doing. I wasn't enjoying life. I wasn't enjoying life at all. It was just, I was always on survival mode, and I was tired and burnt out from surviving. When was the time that I was truly gonna enjoy things that are happening to me? And it just exploded. It just exploded to the point where I had psychiatrists that had to come to the house and try to talk things out with me. And it was just a very difficult time. And then I was offered by these psychiatrists to get on medication. So at first I was like, no, I don't want to be on that stuff at all. I don't want to be on that stuff at all. And they kind of like explained to me what it was, and I was just so down and just looking for a solution that I just ended up saying, okay, yeah, let me try it out. So I remember they gave me my prescription. I went to the pharmacy, I got the box, and I went home. Now I'm home and I have to start it, right? It's a daily thing as well, and it's like, I think it was like, it doesn't like, you don't feel the effects of it right away. You have to have like a 3-month starting period before you actually see the results. And that's when I was just like, okay, I've always been a Christian. I've always known God exists and all that, but I can't say I've really experienced him that way personally. It was more out of tradition. And so I was like, okay. I remember praying and just talking to God and saying, one more chance. Let me give you one more chance. Because in my mind, it was either I'm going to take this medication and be on it for God knows how long, or I'm going to dive into my faith like I've never done before. So that's what I did. I thank God that I did that and he allowed me to do that. But it was the best decision ever. A hard one, but the best decision ever. And then it didn't just happen. Like, I didn't just get out of my depression just out of the blue. No, it took a while. It took molding. It took realizing the mistakes that I've made, what contributed to my depression, and all of that. So, that molding thing, yeah, it's one of the hardest things ever. It is so hard because you're doing stuff that you don't want to do. Honestly, you're doing stuff that makes you uncomfortable, that is just challenging you. And I wasn't used to be challenged in that way at all. So now I had to like do stuff that I never saw myself doing. And not only that, but it was exposing so many things about myself that, you know, aren't necessarily the best. So it's quite uncomfortable to kind of realize that, oh, you're actually not the best person. Like, and not that I ever thought I was, it's just like exposing all the bad things about you, and you now have to deal with those things when you're just used to, you know, keeping them at a distance, you know? So what were those things? I'm gonna be very vulnerable here. I would say the first thing was judging people. I felt like I had that habit of just judging people while I'm comparing myself to them, which is weird because I'm over here hating my life and I'm judging other people for living theirs. That doesn't make sense, does it? No. But that was definitely something that I had to learn to stop doing. And God did it in ways where I would judge people about a certain thing and then it would happen to me. And then I was like, okay, God, I get it. Honestly, that happened like multiple times. I would judge someone about this and then either it would happen to me or I would see that what they have is actually good. So there's no reason for me to judge them because I would like to have the same thing. Then there was gossiping. Well, I am Congolese. We love a good sungi. We do. But when it started to happen about like, when it was about me now, all of a sudden it was wrong. And so that was like, but you do it to them, so what are you complaining about? Very simple principle, but I promise you, when it happens to you, that's when you actually understand it. That's when you actually get it. You're like, oh, okay, this is bad. And one thing that definitely hurt me, that was a bad trait about me and that was hurting me, was harboring hatred and bitterness. Like, I got used to just, if someone would offend me, or if I would feel a certain way, I would just keep it in me. And that just made me a sad person. I just keep it in me, and that would just make me a sad person. It was hurting me more than the person that hurt me, you know? I had to get over it, and it was hard. It was so hard because you've been done dirty, and you know you it's hard for you to just let go of that, but it's hurting you. I'm talking to myself here. But if I'm talking to you, then listen as well. It was just hurting me. It was horrible, and I had to learn to let go. I had to learn to forgive, which is not easy. I had to learn to forgive. I know people say, yes, forgive this and this and this, but are we actually forgiving people out here? It's really hard. It is not easy just to like detach yourself. That's what it is. You're detaching yourself from what has been done to you and leaving it in the past. That means your actions now cannot really depend on what was done to you. I understand you can cut someone off and all of that, but inside of you, you have to detach it from your heart. And that is so hard because your heart was the thing that was hurt in the first place. So forgiveness, I had to learn about it. I wanted God to forgive me about all those bad traits that I had, and so I had to do it for others. Another thing about the molding or healing process is cutting people off. That was also very hard because I've never been one to have a lot of friends. I've never been one to, like, if my phone buzzes, I almost already know who it's gonna be. And so I had to cut people off, making my circle even smaller. And that was hard because it was like, this is all I have, and I'm gonna have to give more. You know, I'm gonna have to like get rid of more. But worth it. It was so worth it because these people weren't bad people. They were just not good for me, and my healing process. I needed to just detach myself from others that stunted my healing, you know? So if I wanted my healing to be complete, I had to do it with very few people around me. And I'm thankful that God put that on my heart because I'm now understanding why. Because when God does things, you don't always understand it then. But now I'm just like, oh, this was why. Oh, that makes sense. Because this and this and this. And I wouldn't have done this if this person was in my ear. I wouldn't have done that if that person was in my ear. So, totally worth it. Do not regret it at all. And yeah, so that was another part of my healing process. And the final part that I'm going to talk about is expecting better. I honestly feel like my depression may have also been the cause of my mindset. It definitely was, because it's like in your head. But I was expecting bad things to happen. I was expecting anything good that came to me. I was expecting it to end. I was expecting it to leave. I was expecting it to destroy me. So if anything good would happen, I was just waiting for the pin to drop. So I was just waiting for the bad to come. And of course it ended up coming because I was searching for it in a way. Just like when you order something, you're looking for your package. And my package was self-destruction. My package was pain. My package was heartbreak. I was just looking for it. So I had to now learn to switch that for a positive. Now I'm expecting joy. Now I'm expecting happiness. Now I'm expecting loyalty. I'm expecting all the good things, which is a hard thing to do when you've experienced the opposite. But that's a part of the healing process. You have to change your mindset. So I had to change the way I viewed life, the way I expected life to treat me. And that was all credit to God. I would not be able to do any of this by myself. Absolutely never. I just don't have the strength. So another thing that happened in this healing process that I needed to be careful of is the thing that I did was I would now take something that was negative and switch it into something else so that I could tell myself, at least I'm not doing that thing anymore. But it was still a bad thing. What I'm trying to say is I would physically isolate, but then I wasn't physically isolating anymore. I was now emotionally isolating. And that just turned me into this very moody person that would just shut down when she got offended, when she got, when something wasn't pleasing to me, I would just shut down emotionally instead of speaking about it. And that was something that I always had a hard time doing, was just opening about my feelings. And it's kind of linked to the harboring hate situation, where instead of just addressing it, I would just keep it in. So I had to get over that, and that was quite hard. But I still kind of struggle with it, if I'm honest. But I just realized that I'm wasting my own time here. I'm literally wasting my own time, because for what? So that was definitely like all of those things I had to learn, all of those things I had to face. There's more, but just what I'm willing to share today. And just kind of regain my light, because something that has stuck with me for years is, I remember my math teacher in high school he was big on energy, and he just he was talking about how energy is contagious or whatever, and pointed me out by saying, "Oh, Tilda, you have like a bright light that shines on others and is contagious." Such an amazing compliment, and it just stuck with me for a long time. And so when I realized that I was losing it was when one of my closest friends said, "Tilda, you're losing your life." And she said it not even knowing about this story. So it was just, that's when like the dots connected, and I was like, oh, this is really bad. Like, this really needs to change. And as I said, that's when I chose Christ. And that's when the healing process began. Before the healing process, so before 2021, I did a Daniel fast. As I said, I dove into my faith. So I did a Daniel fast. I was watching preachings. I was talking to God daily. I was so desperate to get out. And the thing is, first things got worse. My thoughts went even wilder. My depression was even stronger, but I just pushed through it, and God only gave me the strength for that. But I pushed through it, and I was like, God, no, I'm giving you this chance. Like, I want to see you. As I said in my previous video, I want to see you. I want to see you this year. So healing happened, molding happened, and then slowly blessings happened. Like, things that I've always wanted happened. Things that I was looking forward to started to happen. I wanted to have a great internship, because for school I needed to have an internship. I had an amazing internship. I wanted to have friends that brought me closer to God and that loved me for who I am truly. I got that. So 2020 was just amazing in that way, and I really discovered who I was. So I really discovered who I was. I discovered Tilda again, you know? Not only did I heal, but I found myself again, because I was lost. I was so lost, guys. I wasn't who I truly am, and I can finally say, yes, I'm good now. I'm healed, and I'm so thankful. So why I want to make this video is because it is the new year. I know a lot of people want good things for the year to come, and I know that 2021 wasn't good for everyone. I've seen it on like social media or whatever. A lot of people complained about it, and I know we want to boss up, we want to make money, we want to go to the gym, have a good body, good fashion, all of that. But I also want to emphasize on the importance of healing. You need to heal first, because if your 2021 was that bad, you need to heal from that. You need to heal from all of that trauma or heartbreak that happened that year, and position yourself in a way where all the rest could follow. Because there's no doubt all the rest will follow once you are healed. So, and that healing process may look like mine, it may look completely different, but I just want to emphasize on the fact that it is so important, and it may take a while, but it is absolutely worth it. And also, you can do it. Because there was a point in time where I didn't even think I could heal. That's why I was having suicidal thoughts. But you can. You actually can heal from it. It's all possible, and it's possible through God. So that's why I wanted to make this video and be so vulnerable with you guys in this first month of the year. So yeah, I hope I didn't make it too serious. But I just wanted to be vulnerable and honest, because I know I'm gonna have like great, funny, giggly, uppity moments on this channel, but I also wanted to show you where I've been, and just to show you that it's possible. So actually, I also want to say, you guys are a part of my blessing. This YouTube channel, you guys subscribing, you guys messaging me, you are a part of my healing process. You guys are a part of my 2021 blessing, and I am forever thankful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Honestly, it means the world to me. And that's what I was saying. You need to heal first so you can position yourself to receive the blessings, right? And you guys came to me because I was healed. So heal. If you need healing, heal. And if you're ready for your blessings, then open your arms. They're about to fall on your lap. Amen? Amen. So yeah, I promise my channel won't always be this serious, but I definitely want to make this a series and just show you that I've been depressed and I'm fine now. So if you're going through it, you'll be fine as well. I promise you, you'll be good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this new segment. Tell me in the comments below what you would want me to talk about next. Tell me if you like the name, or if you don't like the name, tell me what you would name it then. But I think Tea Time with Tea is quite cute. I didn't drink much of my tea because I was talking, but still, it's cute. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye!